for any students here that do have questions, you can write them in the chat. I will write in the chat right now. If you are unable to see it, you can email me at adam@lambtoncollege.ca, and I can read the questions from my email. I do have it open on the side. I'll have to do it kind of in between everything else that I'm doing at the moment. Alternatively, if you want to raise your hand, you should see a little section that says reactions. You can put your hand up and you can request to turn, I'll assume that's a request to turn your microphone. If you want to also turn your camera on, we can also allow you to do that. So if you don't want to type it all out, please feel free to put your hand up and I will unmute you. So we do want to start today with our land acknowledgement. At Lambton College, we are always very grateful for the land we live on, for the land we teach and work on, for the land we play and compete on, and for the land we learn on. It is with this gratitude in our hearts that before important events such as this one today, that we are always very proud to acknowledge that. Lambton College is located on the beautiful homeland that is the traditional territory of the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Odawa nations. These three individual nations make up the traditional Three Fires Confederacy. We acknowledge the grace and the welcome they have offered to all students, staff, and guests at Lambton College. So thank you for that moment. But first up, we will have the wonderful Dean of the School of Trades and Technology, Dave Machek. I'll leave it to you, Dave.
Well, thank you very much, Adam, and really appreciate this opportunity to talk to all of you. We are doing this virtually, but the great news is that everything is opening back up, and we're getting ready in this fall to be doing back in the building. We've been back in the building throughout COVID for trades and technology. We found ways to make sure that our students are getting the hands-on skills, but it's going to be bigger and better than ever before, so we're excited for that. And I have my team coordinators here, and they're going to be able to speak to you about the different programs. But let me just say a couple of things. A big part of my job is meeting with our local industry partners and trying to understand what their needs are, because our job really is to help bring you as students and prepare you to go there for careers. And what we do know is that there is an intense need for skilled trades as we are coming out of COVID now and things are opening back up. And so there's a lot of opportunity. I know that today I was at a student awards banquet, which is also one of the better days for me. And we were giving out over $300,000 in student awards, and these are mostly funded by industry partners who want our students. And so there's lots of appetite, there's lots of demand, and I just want to really reach out to you in this moment to encourage you to ask the questions, find out the information you need. And I think we will be having more information in this session about opportunities to come in on campus. Please come see us. We're happy to have you, to have these conversations, and I really hope to see you next year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dave. And if anybody has any questions going along, please feel free to type them in the chat or put your hand up and we will do our very best to answer. I will also share a link in a few moments if you would like to win free tuition. So you can fill out a form and you could potentially win tuition for the fall, which is an amazing thing for free education. Next up, we do have the starting of our program coordinators, and we have Chuck Ewart, who is the chemical laboratory representing chemical laboratory technology and the power engineering technology programs. Welcome, Chuck. I believe I saw you here.
Yes, Adam, I am here.
Awesome.
No? You can see me? Can you hear me? I'm just checking, right?
Yeah, we can see and hear you.
You can see me and you can hear me?
Yep.
Right, so I'm on an iPad. Okay, that's good. All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Chuck Ewart. I am the program coordinator for the chemical lab and the power engineering programs. And I'm here in the chemistry lab right now. And I'm on an iPad. Just give me a second. There's a way for me to change my background so that you can see. And now, of course, I'm lost. Oh, there it is. Background effects. Now I'll just go to none. There. Oh, there. Okay, now you can see I'm in the chemistry labs. Okay, so that's really good. And I tried to do this, and I'll just do this quickly. Just turn my camera around here. Okay, so I'm trying to demo. It's really hard to see, but hopefully you can kind of see. That's what I'm trying to demo. You can see some yellow solutions at the bottom, some red solutions at the top, and in the middle is a spectrophotometer. So regardless of which program you're in at the college, if it involves chemistry, typically you're going to use spectrophotometry. And spectrophotometry is a way to measure absorbances of solutions and relate that absorbance to a concentration. So in the power engineering program, one of the big concerns or one of the big things we deal with is rust or iron 3 ions in wastewater. And you can detect iron 3, the color of that solution is yellow. Okay, so you can see there's these yellow solutions sitting right here. Okay, so you can make these yellow solutions up. The iron 3 is yellow in solution, and you can measure these absorbances. If you're in the chemical lab programs or food safety or anything like that, you can look for the red solutions, so you can see them here. Hopefully everyone can see them. I think everyone can see them. And these red solutions, this is testing for Allura red dye. So that's a typical red dye in foods and things like Gatorades, Powerades, and those kinds of things. And so you can measure these absorbances, and then you can use the spectrophotometer, which is this machine right here. Okay, and this spectrophotometer measures absorbances at certain amounts of wavelengths. Now, it's really hard to see this, but red uses a 504 nanometer wavelength, and we can measure that absorbance of that solution. And so you can determine the amounts of red dye or iron 3 in any of these kinds of solutions, any sort of colored solution using spectrophotometry. A little bit about each program. So regardless if you're in power engineering or in chemical lab technology, there's a co-op term. So there's a co-op term where students can gain valuable experience working while they're studying. The other great thing about the power engineering program is that after the first year, you qualify for your 4th class ticket once you pass your exams and get your STEAM time. After the second year, you become qualified for your 3rd class. And then after the last year, you qualify for your 2nd class. And more information will be presented here from all the excellent faculty, staff, and administrative here at Lambton College. If you're in the chemical lab program, what's great about that is now there's a co-op program in that, and that's between the 2nd and the 3rd year. The other great thing about both of our programs, or all of our programs, is that a lot of them are tied to research. So you get to work in some of the top or one of the top research colleges in Canada, hopefully through part-time work and collaborations. And if you have any more questions about power engineering, chemical lab technology, please contact me. And there's my 5 minutes. Hopefully that was 5 minutes. I tried it to be 5 minutes so that everyone has a chance to speak. So thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the live series, and thank you, Adam.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Chuck. We appreciate that. And thank you for showing us around your lab. That was great.
Trying the best we can. So have a good day.
Absolutely. Perfect. So just with that in mind as well, I know you just got a kind of a sneak peek into the labs, but if you do want to come for tours at Lambton College and get on campus, you can tour around with myself or Brady, who you can't see right now, but you will see later today, I believe. And if not, you can see him maybe on a tour. I will put a link in the chat to book a tour. If you want more information about Lambton College or programs itself, we also offer program advising appointments where you can meet one-on-one, whether it be virtual, on the phone, or if you want to come into the college, we can meet you in our recruitment offices. So next up, we have our Chemical Production and Power Engineering Technology Coordinator, Tiffany Majovsky. Tiffany, I believe you're here. Yay!
There, hi.
Hi.
You can see and hear me okay?
All good. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. It was so great to see Chuck on campus too. A little taste of the old life. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Tiffany Majovsky, and I'm the program coordinator for the Chemical Production and Power Engineering Technology program at Lambton College. 3-year program. I do have a little presentation I'll pull up. I'm going to be like Chuck and try to be quick so everyone gets a shot, kick at the can here. So just bear with me for a moment while I share my screen. And we'll pull up the quick presentation. Have a couple videos in that of some of the labs that we operate in as well. So just a quick rundown. If you want to connect with me, these are some of the ways you can contact me for further information after this session. 3-year program, CPET's almost 4 calendar years. We have a couple co-ops also built in there, same as Chuck's programs. So they're usually after the first year and the second year, and then we go out into industry to get that hands-on experiential learning. So we do have a lot of lab facilities on campus, but we love for our students to meet up with our industry partners, complete these 8-month co-op terms where they get more of those hands-on practical experience out in the field. Our courses, we have a combination of lectures and labs, so they work really well together covering the theoretical portion, and then we mix it with that hands-on. So our program is designed to gear the students toward writing their 4th class power engineering examinations. And then with that, we also offer qualifying experience time, or used to be referred to as STEAM time, reduction through the college. So with that, our students, their goal is to get both of their exams written, as well as 12 months of practical experience time. So our program offers 9 months of that, and then those co-op opportunities allow the students to gain the remaining 3 months they need to get that full certification to work in industry in process operations. This is a video if you'd like to watch it. I'm going to be short and sweet. It's about 3.5 minutes. You can contact me through my email or get in touch with Adam to connect with me, and I can show you this. Every open house, I always have students asking, what is the job? What is process operations? So this is a video of Robert that works at Suncor at West, and he walks you through a day in the life of an operator. So everything from monitoring equipment, prepping things for maintenance, and monitoring the console operations. So these are a couple of videos of some of the labs that you'll be running through the CPET program. They do have audio, so I'll go ahead and play them. The first one is a 20-foot distillation column we have in the basement. We use this 2 or 3 times throughout the program, so the students get a handle on how distillation works. So refining operations where we're separating products based on their boiling points. So this is one that we operate multiple times throughout. So in this column, we're separating methanol and water, and we have a steam heat source in the bottom. The next, we have our power generation, a turbo generator, so a steam turbine that's run off of our boilers. We have fire tube and water tube boilers on campus, and this is our steam turbine that we run alongside that. Much louder in person, hearing protection as well. And it's connected to a generator that's going to generate electricity. The next one we have is our advanced process operation, where we get into the controls and logic that are going to operate the distillation columns and such. This is in our final year of the program. We'll be operating some of the different things like the process. Some more console operations. We also have a lot of hands-on training in the program as well, where students get more experience using tools. In this case, in our mechanical practices course, we swing spectacle blinds, so things that we would use for energy isolation, maintenance preparation. So you can see the mask. This was during COVID time when we all had our individual parts. We also do some pipe fitting, which ties along with the maintenance and preparing things for draining and depressuring. So we teach the students how to properly install a means to remove those products from the equipment that they're going to be saving. We also have different equipment that we dismantle and put back together to learn all the different components, how they work together, how operating affects the internal components, different troubleshooting techniques. Not sure how I'm doing for time, but I'm on here. So that's a centrifugal pump that they're taking apart to look at the mechanical seals and colors and all those different. Great. So this is an overview of our maintenance shop where we're doing some of our pipe fitting. We also have a simulation studio where we have mock refineries and different process units where we can start them up and shut them down and troubleshoot in a safe atmosphere where we're not going to be disrupting any live process. So the students really enjoy the simulations. Great training tool. And then we also have, this is an old supercharger from a car, so centrifugal compressors, and we have other apparatuses that we allow our students to start up and shut down. So just some of our students, they really enjoy being on campus. We do a lot of group work where you work with different people, learning to multitask, work together in a safe environment. That was setting the pressure on a safety relief valve, so taking it apart and looking at all the internals. We also partner with Lambton College and do some fire training. And process or any on-site incidents that can occur. Some more of our students out on the fire campus, and then some of our faculty. I managed to get a couple photos of those. So any more information, there's the websites. And I will stop my screen sharing. And then if there's any questions or anything, you can either contact me now or later.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tiffany. So yeah, if anybody does have any questions, please feel free to throw it in the chat. I did see another question for another program, but if we have anything, I will definitely let you know, Tiff. As I mentioned, my email is adam@lambtoncollege.ca. So you can always feel free to connect with me and I can send it off to whoever you would like to speak with. And Tiffany just put her email in the chat as well. So thank you for doing that.
Welcome.
All right, so I don't see any questions yet, but we'll let you know. So I also just am going to throw in the book a tour form right now. So should you want to book a tour with us, please feel free to do so. And I also submitted the program advising form to the chat. So if you either one of those or both, if you would like to meet with us and then go for a tour, or just go for a tour or just meet with us. So next up, I believe we have Aaron Sader. And then John, you're not yet. So we have Aaron first, and then yeah, so welcome, Aaron.
Hi, Adam. Thank you. I'm live from my office, so hopefully you can hear and see me a-okay.
Absolutely, you're great.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So my name is Aaron Sader, and I am the program coordinator of several different environment, health, and safety programs here at Lambton. The first program I'd like to talk to you about today is our Water and Wastewater Systems program, which is aimed at providing students with the knowledge, skills, as well as the certifications to go out and work at any public or private water or wastewater treatment facilities. So I do have a couple presentations to walk you through a couple different options, as I said, for different environment, health, and safety programs. So I'm going to share and start with my first one. Okay. So the first program, which I'm so proud to present on, is, as I mentioned, our Water and Wastewater Systems Operations program. So this is a 2-year diploma program here at Lambton. We have 3 academic terms. It's what we call a compressed program, meaning that we take the regularly scheduled 4 academic terms and kind of squash them into 3. So while it is very academically robust, at the same time, it does allow for several different opportunities to slide co-ops in there, which of course everyone loves. And we're very fortunate to have many different co-op placements in both public and private facilities supporting us around the community. So as I mentioned, we'll have 3 semesters of theory, of lectures. We have 3 semesters of co-op placements. We have a really great My Career Center here at the college, which helps students to go through that process when it comes time for a co-op in terms of, you know, writing your resume, beefing up your interview skills, and kind of walking you through that process. The really unique part of our program also is that we partner with another college, Northern College, which is located way up north in the province in Kirkland Lake. And it's a really great opportunity for students to kind of create relationships with students across the province in the industry, learn about some of the challenges and issues related to water and wastewater from, the northern perspective, which is really heavily focused on the mining industry. We have a lot of opportunities for students to do some hands-on work. You can see right there in the image some of the students working in our beautiful Center of Excellence in our lab. And we do try to get opportunities for students to go out and visit wastewater treatment sites, as well as different drinking water operation facilities. So because we share the program, many of our lectures are a mix of both virtual as well as on-campus delivered lectures. So we will have theory coming from Northern College professors sometimes. The other great piece of our program is that we have the use of what we call simulation software, which is huge for students because it's not so easy sometimes to be able to understand what happens, during different events. So we have the Hydromantis simulation software on our computers here at the college, which allows students to kind of manipulate and play around with different scenarios and really see what can happen in different situations. In terms of requirements and some of the curriculum, we do encourage students to make sure that they have everything required in terms of English. Their grade 12 math and chemistry is really important as well, obviously within the program. So some of the different courses that you will take while you're here include, communications, which is really, really important, chemistry and physics, water monitoring and sampling, GIS, which stands for Geographic Information Systems. Students will also look at plant design and operations, waste facility design, environmental regulations and legislation, because as we know, our drinking water as well as wastewater is highly regulated in Ontario. Another really key piece of our program is the certifications, as I mentioned previously. And we do have some really great opportunities built in the program for students to gain some of the required certifications that operators must have. One of the big ones is the Ministry of the Environment entry-level course for drinking water operators. We build that right into our curriculum, so students take that within their normal scheduled classes, write the required exams, and upon graduation, receive that certificate from the MOE. We also provide students with an opportunity to write their OIT, which is the Operator in Training exam right here at the college, which allows them to become eligible to go on co-op, as well as to step foot in any facility in Ontario. So that's a really huge piece. Otherwise, students would have to go outside of the college and obtain those on their own. Just wanted to show some pictures here of our amazing students in action. As Tiffany and everyone has mentioned previously, we have some really great facilities here. We have students working with some jar testers. You can see there on the right, some of our other students working on some of the different pumps and motors. So we do try our best to make sure that students can receive as much hands-on work as possible. In terms of job opportunities, it's huge. In Ontario, we have so much demand right now for both drinking water as well as wastewater operators. So if you're someone who, you like to work with your hands, you are mechanical, this could be a great fit for you. There's other avenues as well built into this industry where if you're more interested in the regulation side of things and you'd like to look at more of compliance, there's also those avenues. So there's a lot of different potential job opportunities for people in this industry. You could ultimately end up working as, a water or wastewater systems operator. You could go a more analytical route and end up as an environmental technician, a supervisor, lab tech. It's really open, to what you feel like is your best kind of avenue. Average salary for an OIT or a class 1 starts around $45,000. And as you gain the necessary experience and certifications to go up to a class 2, a class 3, and class 4, the opportunities and the salary ranges really go up very quickly. In terms of daily duties, everyone always wants to know, well, what do I do in the day? It can really vary, depending on if you're working at a small facility or you're working, for the City of Toronto at one of their major water or wastewater treatment sites. You might be regulating water quality and production using some of the different pieces of equipment to ensure that, you are in compliance with all the different government regulations. We all want to go home and make sure that the water that we're drinking is safe for ourselves and our families, right? You might be in charge of taking and recording samples from instruments such as flow meters or pressure gauges. You might have to troubleshoot and make adjustments to pumping systems. So again, if you're someone who really enjoys some of the hands-on work, this might be a great opportunity for you. You also, like I said, if you're more into the theory side of things, regulations and compliance, you might be more into preparing the reports, maintaining operations logs, ensuring that compliance is happening with different companies. Work environment, as I've said a couple times, there are so many potential avenues that, if you enjoy being more in the field, making adjustments to equipment, inspecting operations, collecting samples, there's opportunities for that. You could be in the office, doing more of the paperwork, entering and analyzing data, meeting with colleagues, the government officials, as well as liaising with the public. Or you could be working in the lab processing samples or performing some different analysis, again, to make sure that the quality of the water is safe. I always end off, just with a quick conversation around why we treat water. And I think really it just comes down to the fact that, we all want to go home, like I said, every day, or when you wake up in the morning, you turn on your tap, you want to make sure that that water is safe for yourself and your family, because we know that if not, then we could have some huge ramifications for health. So I think, it's such a field that I'm passionate about, and I see our students so passionate about, that, treating water is something that will never go away. It's only going to become a bigger and bigger issue. So I end off just with a sample job listing. I always encourage my students to really do some research on the different jobs that they're interested in. This is one that I just pulled from Indeed.com last year, and it was actually for a very for water and wastewater operations manager and or supervisor. So, I'll make sure that Adam has copies of all my PowerPoints afterwards so he can always share. And, you guys can always reach out anytime with questions. If you want to go over this with me or you missed something that I chatted about within this program, please feel free to contact me or get a hold of Adam, and he knows how to contact all of us. So that's it for my first program. Adam, if you're okay, I'll move into the next one.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay. So I switched gears a little bit. The field of environment, health, and safety is so connected. We're never far apart from each other. So I enter now into our workplace safety prevention program, which is also a 2-year Ontario College diploma. This program is great. It's 4 academic terms, and starting next year, we will be having a formal co-op, which is always optional, of course, between the first 2 years of the program. We've had great success with local industries supporting our students previously through work opportunities, everything from construction to manufacturing to industry. And that's really the beauty of health and safety, right? Is that it covers and crosses into all industries, all trades. It's not just oil and gas specific. It's everywhere and in everything. And if the last 2 years has taught us anything, it's the importance of health and safety. So this program is so unique because we are partnered with some other colleges, just like the other program across Ontario. This one partners with Seneca, which is just around Toronto, and Cambrian College, which is in Sudbury. And so it's a really unique opportunity, again, to meet students from across the province, to learn from instructors, again, all over the province, and to share different stories that you each have in the different industry, the different trends that are happening across our province. So because of that, again, the lectures are delivered in a mix of hybrid format. So you will have some lectures that are delivered online, just like this, with the teacher coming live to you from Seneca or Cambrian. and you'll have a mix of students in your class. So you'll still be here though. If you go to Lambton, you'll be here on campus to take many of the other courses. You'll be here to do labs for bio, for chem, for industrial hygiene and toxicology. In terms of requirements and curriculum, so grade 12 English, also chemistry or biology is really important. In terms of some of the curriculum, you know, we always start off in first year, first semester with a really solid understanding of regulations around health and safety. We call this little guy here our Bible, our green book, because it should be in every single workplace in Ontario. Hopefully you've seen it yourself in your break room, at your full-time job or your part-time job. So by the end of the 2 years, you will become very familiar with this little guy. I always call it my best friend, because it really guides how employers and employees are regulated around health and safety in the workplace. So we start off with you know, a solid understanding of regulations, of health and safety programs and management systems. And then towards second year, you move into some really core courses around things like ergonomics, risk management, accident prevention and investigation, industrial hygiene, and toxicology, and many others as well. So this is just an example of some of the different companies locally that have supported our students in the past for work experiences. Right now I have students also finding their placements for this spring, and you know, again, our community is so fantastic at supporting our students. I can without a doubt say we've never had a student be eligible and not get a placement, which is so great. Like I said, health and safety goes in every industry and in every company. So I've had students in the past work everywhere from, you know, here at Lambton College to construction companies, to places like Nova Chemicals, but also to companies like H&M, you know, the clothing company, because health and safety is so universal. So we have really great local companies that support our program. Certifications are huge in the health and safety and environment field. And we're so proud that our program is affiliated with the CRSP, the Canadian Registered Safety Professional Organization. And all of our program objectives are mapped to the CRSP and the CRST objectives. So once students graduate from our program, you are immediately eligible to write the CRST exam. To gain that designation, you can put those little letters beside your name. And then after a few years, you've gained the necessary experience, you become eligible to write the CRSP examination. So, you know, certifications, like I said, are always huge, and we're so proud that we do have this accreditation from the CRSP. In terms of job opportunities, like I mentioned previously, the best thing you can do for yourself is to go online and really do that research. Spend some time thinking about the industry you would like to be in, see the types of jobs that are being posted for it. Like I said, with health and safety, it's so universal that the job titles are kind of interchangeable. You might see ones for health and safety technician, health and safety coordinator, safety specialist. You know, it really is kind of all encompassing. So go online and kind of do that research and see some of the different postings that are out there. This is one of my favorite slides, and it's a day in the life of a health and safety services coordinator for a local company called Sims. And I'm so proud of this one because this was actually a recent graduate of our program, and she was hired by Sims Limited upon her graduation, and this is her day in the life. So, you know, she's part of the health and safety team, which is responsible for creating and maintaining a health and safety system that our field teams on project sites can utilize. So different responsibilities around reporting on statistics and at-risk items, development and expansion of program processes. She looks at data from their behavior-based observation system. She creates improvements in the health and safety system to support the field teams. She's involved with training development, reporting, policy development and review, supporting audits, which is also huge. So, you know, so many of our graduates now are out there working in the different industries, and the network that's being created is something, you know, Lambton is so proud of. All right. So Adam, I do have one more, if that's all right with you. going to pull this one up. So very lastly, this is another health and safety program. This one is specifically focused for international students. And I'm so proud of this one as well because, you know, we are so welcoming to our international group and we're so proud to have you come to Lambton. And, you know, like I said, health and safety is something that is universal, whether it's here in Canada or anywhere around the world. So we have a really great 2-year graduate certificate program with a co-op that is called Occupational Health and Safety Management. It is 3 academic terms followed by a co-op or a potential WIL project, which is called a Work Integrated Learning Project. Again, very similar types of curriculum to our other occupational health and safety program, where you learn the basis of legislation here in Canada and here in Ontario. You know, the focus is really on mitigating and managing workplace hazards. So students are really trying to gain that understanding of how health and safety, you know, is really practiced in the workplace. We also have a really great workshop series in our program that's focused on very specialized topics for the students. So things like mental health in the workplace, which has become, you know, a huge issue very recently. So we're really proud to be able to bring in different organizations and different groups from our community to kind of do this workshop series and have our students be really immersed in some of these different topics. We also have some really great faculty members from all different kind of walks of life and all different industries to give you that broad perspective on health and safety. In terms of requirements or curriculum, this program does require a previous university degree, as well as very specific English language requirements. So if you are an international student interested in this, you know, please reach out to our international department. They're great at helping you navigate the application process. And job opportunities, again, very similar to our workplace safety program. You know, just depends on the industry you end up in. I know a lot of students who really love, you know, the legislation side of things ultimately end up working for our Ontario Ministry of Labour as inspectors. You know, there's opportunities in both public, private, as well as government roles. All right. So Adam, that does bring me now to the end of my spiel.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully I didn't, nobody went to sleep listening to me, but I'm so proud of all of our programs. And like I said, environment, health, and safety do go hand in hand. So if you're interested, you know, please reach out to me or to Adam to connect anytime. So thank you for listening.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aaron. And sorry for keep popping on. I forgot you had 3 programs, so that's my fault. My
Okay.
apologies.
Hopefully I didn't put everyone to sleep.
No, not at all. It was great. Great information. Thank you so much. So next we have Mr. Phil Babby from the Registrar's office, who's going to give us some guidance on registration and everything to do with his office. Well, most things.
Hey, Adam. Yeah, most things. Okay, yeah, so give me 1 sec here and let me just get my presentation up. Awesome. Yeah, so like Adam mentioned, my name's Phil. I work in the Registrar's office. I'm an enrollment services professional, and I'll get to what that means in just a sec here. Bear with me. There we go. So to start off, what does our office do? Basically, we kind of handle everything from admissions, registration, and fees, your schedule, graduation, and financial aid. Financial aid includes OSAP, scholarships, and bursaries. So our office hours are Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. In the summer, we shut down at 4, but we open at the same time. And for our customer service standards, so we typically take 2 to 3 business days to respond to emails, and you can get more into how to reach us coming up in a little bit. I'll get to that. And just to mention it now too, if you log into My Lambton and up in the top menu, if you go to registration and finances, then click on Office of the Registrar, I think everything I talk about today you can also find on there. What is an ESP or Enrollment Services Professional? That's your main contact in the Registrar's office. So basically everything I mentioned from that page before We do. So I'm an ESP, there are, I believe, 5 of us total, and we all have a different portfolio of programs. And so the idea is that anything in the registrar's office, basically, you go to one person the entire time you're in your program. So for me, I've got the technology and trades programs. So if you're in any of those, like, CPET or welding, you pretty much go to me for everything the whole time you're in the program. And yeah, like I mentioned, so we help you with OSAP, financial aid, scheduling, tuition payment. And now that we're back on campus, you can actually see us anytime in the day. And we use this program called QList, and it's basically like one of those restaurant reservation apps where you get texts when your table's almost ready. So you can log in either here in person on campus or even at home on my Lambton. So you can like check in and get your spot in line and then come here and grab a coffee or something, and then once we can see you, you'll get a text letting you know. So just to go over a couple of the important dates and deadlines, coming up May 1st is the confirmation deadline. So if you haven't yet, you'll want to confirm to your program by then. June 20th is when the tuition deposit's due, and then September 6th is the first day of classes. Definitely keep an eye on the dates. We also do send out a lot of reminder emails, but it's good to just kind of take a look at them once in a while. You can see all the upcoming dates if you go to lambtoncollege.ca/academic dates. They're on my Lambton too, but it's a little easier to kind of see a snapshot of everything at that academic dates link right there. So transfer credits, I just wanted to touch on this quickly. So if you've already taken a course, you may be able to get exempt from taking another course here at Lambton. One thing I quickly want to mention here is if you've already taken a Lambton course, you don't need to go through that process. So if that applies to you, just give your ESP a shout and let them know. But if you have taken a course at another college or university, you can submit a transfer credit request to have that evaluated. So if you do that, it's on my Lambton. There's a whole portal. It walks you through it. It's a pretty easy process, especially when it takes you through all the steps. But the one thing I did want to mention is if you're going to submit a transfer credit request, you need to have a copy of your transcript. It doesn't have to be official. It can be an unofficial one or even a screenshot, but you do have to have a transcript, and you also have to have a detailed course outline. And that course outline needs to have things like learning outcomes. It needs to have a breakdown of the material that's covered. It needs to have evaluation methods, and it has to be from the year or the semester that you took the course. That's a big one just because most people typically don't have those and they have to get them from their old school. And sometimes that can take a little while. Usually you have to go through your old school's dean's office to get them. So that's a big one I wanted to touch on there. And how to reach us. I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Right now, the best way to reach us is through email. And if you don't have your ESP's email address, you can go to my Lambton, Registration and Finances, Office of the Registrar, then click on the contact page, and you can put in your program, and it'll pop up your ESP's contact information. And one other thing we just want to touch on is start making a habit to check your college email, because after the 10th day of class, we send all communications to your Lambton email for privacy reasons. And that is about it from me. Let me just see if I can unshare my screen here. And so, we're finally open. We opened up, I believe, 3 weeks ago, and it's great to be back. So I definitely recommend come see us. If you ever want, just kind of drop in and see us at the front counter.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Phil. Appreciate your time. And if anybody does have any questions, again, Phil, you can reach out to me or to Phil at phil.babby@lambtoncollege.ca. And as you mentioned, I'll share a link to how to search your enrollment service professional momentarily. So if you want to look by your program, you can find it there and you'll find out who your ESP is, whether it be currently or in the future. Next, we will have from our Wellness Center, Francis Hyde. So welcome, Francis, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. So my presentation will be quite short and sweet because I'm sure you guys want to get out of here and do your thing through the day. I'm just trying to find my presentation. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to be presenting on the behalf of counseling as well. We're located in the same room together, so a lot of our services kind of overlap. I'm just trying. Oh, there we go. Full screen it is. So this is the main entrance to the Counseling and Wellness Department. It is right across from the library. Very easy to find. We do have a lot of pamphlets and paper copies of information packages in the hallway there as well. For counseling, they basically take care of your mental well-being while I take care of your physical well-being. So for counseling, we do hold academic and personal counseling services. So for academic, that means if there's a class that you want to drop or change, or there's an issue with your timetable, or you're looking to look in a different direction career-wise, that would be the department to get a hold of. Personal counseling, if you're struggling with the class, you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, depressed, we also take care of that as well. So Bernadette, Carolina, and Laura are all our on-campus counselors currently. We do offer both counseling both virtually and in person at this time. I know as summer's going on, we're going to be offering more and more in-person services as well. So our drop-in times vary throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we offer drop-ins from 8:30 to 11:30. You don't need an appointment. Wednesday afternoons is when we switch, and we do it Wednesday afternoon as well. All other times we do take booked appointments, okay? You can book an appointment by emailing counseling@lambtoncollege.ca. One of the administrative assistants will get back to you within 24 hours, and they will set you up with a date and time for an appointment, depending on what your need is. So for counseling, like I said, they do offer career counseling there. You'll see that at the top right-hand corner. So if you're looking to go in a different route for your career, they can offer you some advice on that. There is career testing, where you pay a fee, you answer a huge questionnaire based on your personality type, your key interests. They'll be able to tell you what type of work you would be well at doing. On the bottom right there, you'll see academic counseling. So like I said, if you're having an issue with a course, maybe something's not what you thought it was going to be and you just want to drop it, you would come in and do that here. Personal and individual counseling we do offer as well. If you're struggling personally, whether that's at school, at home, with finances, whatever, we will sit and talk with each other, whether it's a half an hour, 45 minutes, or even up to an hour, we do as well. If there is something outside of our scope of practice, of course, we always do referrals, whether that's with outside resources like the Chatham-Kent Health Alliance or something like that, or the Family Counseling Center. We all kind of stick together here in Sarnia, and we do refer to each other just to give you guys a lot of options for total and complete coverage. Now, for my services there, we do Monday through Friday. I'm here every day from 8:30 till 4:30. Part of the reason why I'm part of this presentation is with skilled trades, we do get a lot of injuries that come in, whether it's a burn, a cut, puncture wound, whatever. Yes, there are first aid kits located in all areas of the college, but sometimes, especially if there's a lot more blood than people are used to. This isn't Grey's Anatomy. I don't want anyone to take any chances. Just come and see me. You can drop on in. I do take appointments most of the time, but for first aid incidences like that, I definitely want you to come and see me if it's something beyond your scope of comfortability. On Wednesdays, we do have a nurse practitioner that's here. She does offer additional immunization clinics, STD testing, as well as lab and diagnostic imaging and prescriptions. I'm typically the one that does the day-to-day stuff. I do a lot of immunizations, first aid, regular health assessments and referrals, pregnancy tests, and of course, health teaching with all of those as well. I'm the only nurse here that's here full-time, but I do have a bunch of part-time nurses that will cover me. If I expect to have a busy day, you might see more than one nurse here. But Val, our nurse practitioner, and Diana are typically only here on Wednesday afternoons from 1 till 4. And that's it on my end. I'm just going to figure out how to unshare my screen. Do you know how to do it? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Nailed it.
Horrible with this. Nailed it. All right. Does anyone have any questions before I head out?
I don't see any specifically for you, but I'll definitely let you know if we do hear
Absolutely.
anything later, and we'll touch base if we do. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much, Adam. Appreciate it. We'll see ya.
Take care. And next up, we have the amazing Patty Helps from the Co-op and Career Services Department. Welcome, Patty.
Well, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here. And it's honestly, it's a joy to have heard my colleagues and just the amazing people that we have here at Lambton College who are so student focused and really passionate about what they bring to the table. That includes me. I'm very passionate about the department I work for, which is Co-op and Career Services. I really feel that we are sort of the hubcap of why anybody would come back to school. For the most part, any of you who are considering coming back to school, any of you who have already pulled the trigger to come back to school, usually the reason why you want to do that is because that you want to improve yourself, improve your circumstances for yourself and your family, and upgrade your skill set so that you can eventually gain employment. And that is what our department is all about. So it actually covers a really broad spectrum of what we have to offer. So I'm going to walk you through that a little bit. So our department consists of 3 different pods of staff. We have career services staff who, well, I'll just walk you through. We have career services staff, we have job developers, and we have co-op advisors. So our career services people, they help with any kind of employment prep except co-op. So they would be there to help guide you towards resources that would help get you ready for a part-time job, a summer job, grad position, things like that. And then we have job developers. So they're not student facing, they're actually employer facing. So they're the ones who are out there building relationships with employers. And again, that can be anywhere from, pulling together employers who are looking for part-time staff and being able to mesh together the students that are seeking part-time employment with the employers that are looking for those particular individuals, straight through to co-op, straight through to graduation. They invite employers on campus for special events, things like that. So they're very busy employer facing. And then we have co-op advisors, which is what I am. I'm a co-op advisor. We have 4 of them currently in our department, and each of us have a portfolio of programs. So whatever program you decide to go into, if it is a co-op program, you will have a co-op advisor that's dedicated to your program. It won't be exclusively, but it will be part of a co-op advisor's portfolio. And there is a robust support system that is in place to help you prepare for and be successful in securing co-op opportunities. So again, our primary focus is supporting students and graduates to be competitive in securing employment and supporting employers who wish to hire our students and graduates. So again, that covers off part-time jobs, summer jobs, co-op positions. And by the way, those co-op opportunities would be in Sarnia, across Ontario, and throughout Canada. So, the more you broaden your spectrum of where you would be willing to go to get some practical work experience to make you competitive as a professional, broaden your perspectives. And then ultimately as graduate positions. So I just want to take a moment and I just want to focus in on co-op itself. Any of the programs that you've heard of so far, they've all had co-op components to it. So I just want to focus in on that for just a couple of minutes and then I'll be done. So we have really dedicated staff and we have cutting edge technology that we use to help Lambton College students and their grads have access to what they're going to need in order to be competitive and have the top skill set. So I've broken it down to the 3 E's of co-op. So the first E would be eligible. You know, you might have been in high school, you might have been exposed to co-op somewhere along the line. If I use high school as an example, if you were part of a co-op at high school, it was really more a model that is a placement as opposed to something that you had to compete for. So it's important for any student going into a program that has a co-op in it for them to understand that this is a competitive process. There is an academic eligibility that you have to meet in order to even be permitted to go on co-op. So just because you're in a co-op program doesn't mean that you are automatically, you know, the gates are open and you can just go ahead and go do a co-op regardless of how well you've done academically. So there is a criteria that's in place that I'm not going to burden you with the information about that now, but I certainly can, and you will be provided that very early on when you arrive at the college. So that's something to keep in mind. So you know, if you decide, you know what, I'm thinking of dropping this course and I'll take it later. The first thing that you should be thinking of is, how is that going to affect my co-op eligibility? So just simple things like that, it should always be running through your mind. So the second E is engaged. So as I mentioned before, this is not a placement. This is a partnership. So I talked about the staff that we have in our department to assist you, but at the end of the day, you know, we can't put your resume together for you. We can't be applying on your behalf. We can't go to the interview in your place. We can't go to the job for you. This has to be a partnership where you're engaged in the process. So you're engaged in accessing the resources that our department has to offer you. You're engaged in continuous improvement of yourself, whether that's your resume, your cover letter, your interview skills, you know, any kind of preparation, always retooling yourself until you've reached the level of success that you've hoped for. And the final E, obviously, is employed. So when it comes to any kind of employment that you get, whether it's a part-time job, a summer job, a co-op position, these are all building blocks that you're going to be using to help you ultimately be successful as a graduate and a professional that, you know, is going to lead to, you know, decades of success for you. We want to help you leverage the expertise that you're gaining, help prepare you to be able to be successful on the job. So it's not only a success in securing the job, but how to be successful when you actually show up in person, because it could be that nothing in your life has quite prepared you for the co-op opportunity or the first grad opportunity that you're going to be walking into. And so we want to help bridge that for you. If you have any questions, what I would suggest is that you email co-op, C-O-O-P, at lambtoncollege.ca. We have someone who will triage your questions and send it off to who would be the most appropriate in our department to help you and to answer your questions. So that's it for me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you.
Have a great day and take care. And we'll have Barb Dobson up next for our pre-trades and technology program. Welcome, Barb.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. And talk to you a little bit today about the pre-trades and technology program. This is a short program. It's a preparatory program. It's 8 months long or 2 terms. And it's a program that a lot of students don't think about when they're thinking about what they want to take. They kind of think about the area that they want to get into without thinking about a preparatory program. But students, I can assure you, I've been the coordinator of 3 pre-programs at Lambton College for almost a decade now, and the students who take the pre-programs, including this one, in hindsight are always so very grateful that they did. And the reason is This program will really, really help you with the transition from high school, or if you've been out of school for a while, into college life and what it takes to be successful at college level. I can guarantee you, you will be way better prepared to go on to the next step in your educational pathway if you choose to take this program. It will help you develop in several ways over that 8-month period. Most importantly, you're going to develop in your academic skills, the really important ones that you're going to need regardless of which trade or technology program you go to next. You're going to be better prepared academically if you take this program first. We really focus on the courses you need the most, math right up there, because pretty well all math technology programs require math skills, but communications courses and other choices that you can take that you will definitely come out of this way better academically prepared for your next step. And our studies have shown this. We have looked, or I have looked along with the Registrar's office, at the grades students who have completed this program successfully and how they fare going on to the program that they choose next, be it one of our engineering technology programs or a trades program. And generally speaking, if they have a successful year in pre-tech, they are going to be successful at the next step. So it's very, very good preparation academically. Another big advantage to the pre-tech program is you can start it in the fall term, but we have also recently developed a winter intake for this program. It has you have the ability to enter and go in for just the one term, the winter term, and still get a certificate from the program and pick up courses that really focus on that academic preparation. So we do have 2 intakes possible for you. So if you do happen to start a program in the fall and find that it's a bit too much for you, you can transition into this pre-tech program for winter. Not only the academic preparation that's so important that you'll get from this program, you will get, and what this is something we found is equally important for students, is you'll learn the study skills and the work habits and the life management skills that you need to be successful as well. And those should never be underestimated. And we do specifically have courses designed to do that. So if you do come in the fall, you'll take math. So we'll start that math right away. That's so very important in so many programs and can be difficult for students at college level. I will warn you that as well. And you'll take a safety tools and materials course that the pre-tech students love. You'll also take a career exploration course. We've had students come into pre-tech who kind of think they have an idea in mind of what they want to do, but after taking the career exploration course, in which you'll look at a lot of the technology and trades programs on offer at the college, they actually come away with another idea altogether. So that's kind of that personal development that I was talking about before. And you can also select another course that will actually be in a trade or technology area and give you advanced credit towards the program that you might go into later. So we get advanced credit opportunities in this program as well. And then in term 2, which is the one I mentioned earlier, you can jump into this program at term 2. Again, more communications and math, physics. We have a student success and life skills course. This is about your managing time and managing maybe a job as well as going to school, and those life skills that are so important to success, not only in school, but afterwards. And again, some selections for you, depending on where you think you might want to go next, to either help you prepare or give an advanced credit. So just to finish, there's a whole bunch of programs you can choose following the pre-tech program. And I want to say that we are noticing that through the COVID-19 pandemic, students, the preparedness for college study is sometimes suffered a little bit because of all that disruption to education, making this program even more important to a lot of students. And it's kind of timely that I followed Patty Helps from the co-op office. She was talking about the importance of that co-op eligibility and having to make the grades in the engineering technology programs, for example, to get co-ops. if you take the pre-technology and trades program first, your grades are almost guaranteed to be better when you do go into those technology programs later, and you are more likely to end up with grades that make you co-op eligible. So it's something else to think about as well. And I want to thank you for your time today. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barb. And next up, we have Ken Graham from our Millwright Mechanical Technician program, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about that. Ken? Welcome, Ken.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Hello, everyone. I am the program coordinator for the Millwright program here at Lambton College. I'm just going to share my screen. I'm hoping everyone can see that. So I'm just going to talk generally.
It's still on you, Ken.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. At least on my screen it is.
Let's try that again.
Here we go.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk generally about a millwright first, because that seems to be a question a lot of people have, is what a millwright actually is, because millwrights do a little bit of everything in today's workforce, depending on companies they're employed in. What I like to kind of talk about millwright as being is a millwright is, you probably heard this one before, but the jack of all trades. So you will find that millwrights, again, depending on the type of employer you have, some of your tasks or requirements will be different depending on the place you're working. That being said, a lot of companies only carry two trades, and that's mechanical and electrical, and millwright is the mechanical side of that. Millwrights will do welding, they'll do fabrication, they'll do electrical, they'll do pump rebuild, they'll do PLCs, they'll do robotics. They basically get into almost everything. And to me, that's a very good thing for young people starting out, as it was for me, because you find what you like and what you're good at, and you can kind of steer your career to that avenue. So there are so many options because the trade is so big that you can basically pick the things you enjoy most and pursue that direction. So the program's well suited for anyone that likes working mechanically. If you like working on cars or bikes or any rotating equipment, or just like to get into a problem and try to solve a problem, anything like that. If you like to fix anything that's broken, that's all to do with millwrights. If you enjoy PLC, robotics, CNC, 3D modeling, electronics, you like building things out of metal, fabrication, like I say, the field is so wide that you'll be able to get into any one of those things. So in the first year, this is a 2-year program again. Millwrights, like I said, is a huge trade. And in industry right now, there is not enough millwrights to fill jobs. So it's a very in-demand trade. And in your first year at the college, you would get into some of the courses I have here on the map. And that is, you'll get basic hand tools and work with different tooling. You'll do rigging and hoisting, which is basically, how do I lift heavy equipment? How do I move heavy pieces around areas without getting anyone hurt and doing it safely? You'll have workplace communications, which basically teaches you how to communicate in a typical workplace. Basic engineer drawings. So as a millwright, you have to be able to understand how things are made, and be able to read engineer drawings and interpret them, because sometimes you'll be giving drawings for direction on something you may have to do. You'll also get welding, which you'll do fabrication in. You'll learn the basics of welding. And then you'll have introduction to pumps. So pumps is a big part of being millwright. Basically rebuild pumps. It'll teach you how they work. You'll have machines. It says machines and piping there. You basically, when I say piping, you've probably heard of another trade, pipe fitter. You'll get into a little bit of pipe drawing, reading. You'll fabricate a piping system, things like that. The machines part of it, you get into a lot of conveyor systems, which is another thing that you can imagine. Places like Amazon and automotive manufacturers, there's conveyors everywhere, and millwrights are the people that work on them. Maintenance machine shop, you'll get to fabricate projects. Basically at the beginning of the year, you'll be handed some metal. They'll teach you how to make something out of metal, and the project's different usually every year, but there's been hammers and vices and things like that as a student you'll come in. They'll teach you how to read the drawing. They'll teach you how to cut the metal. They'll teach you how to fabricate everything. And I don't want to read through every one of them here, but as you can tell, you'll get into some more welding. Power transmission is gearboxes and bearings and a lot of rotating equipment. And then again, you're going to have some more drawing and schematic readings. In between all that, you have the opportunity to do a co-op between May and August. So our first years will be coming into that right now, very shortly. And these co-ops, that's another very good opportunity with millwright, is normally we have a very good selection of co-ops. That's held back some because of COVID, but it's really turned around this year. And I believe this year we've had more opportunities again than some of our students can fill. So it's like I keep saying, very in-demand trade. All our co-ops are paid, and it's a very good opportunity to get on the job kind of hands-on training. In second year, things start to really get more in depth too, and we kind of broaden our range on some of the topics we cover. So we have pneumatics and hydraulics, which is basically the power of air and liquid, using that as your power source. The differences between them, they all speak kind of by different languages. You'll learn all about them from basically nothing to getting more advanced. Basic science and mechanical theory, the makeup of different metals, how things work. You'll get into some of that. Advanced compressors and pumps. Compressors and pumps are, again, a very big part of the millwright trade because they're rotating equipment. Anything to make liquids move or to compress gas and use that gas as a power source is also covered. You'll get into electrical fundamentals, basically teach you all about electricity, and like I say, depending on where you work, manufacturing, a lot of manufacturers want you to be multi-skilled, and you'll be expected to know some electrical also. I'm going to skip preventative and predictive maintenance, teaches you all about vibration analysis, monitoring. I'm losing my train of thought here, but basically predicting when you're going to have problems. with equipment. So before it actually even happens, you're gonna figure out how do I know this is going to fail before it fails. Preventative maintenance is going to be basically just trying to maintain equipment, greasing equipment, running through, changing belts, chains, anything that needs to be maintained. Industrial automation, you'll get into robotics and PLCs, and then turbines and prime movers are basically electric motors and turbines, which in this area in nuclear are used very much. So I'm going to fly through here for a sec. I've got a couple, popping up my screen there. I've got some videos just to go through the shops. That's the other nice thing about the Millwright program is when you work in it, you don't work out of one shop, you work out of a whole bunch of shops. So this is the machine shop. So in first year, when you make a project out of metal, this would be where it is. I'm not going to play a whole lot of it, but we'll just flip through here a bit just so you can see some of the equipment. So in here we have drill presses and mills and lathes, band saws, and basically, like I said, everybody would get a piece of metal, a drawing, and you're going to start to build this, build a piece of equipment. Right here we've got micrometers. That teaches you how to measure things accurately. We've got some various hand tools. It's very in-depth. Like I said, you'll get through, start with nothing, and you learn for the very basics on how to do a lot of this stuff. So if you haven't never worked on a mill or a lathe, it's not expected that you have. You'll learn right from scratch, and that's with all the courses. We don't come in thinking, well, students know this stuff already. We have to teach it from the very basic level. So I'm going to close this one. Here we have our Pneumatics and Hydraulics Lab. So this is just a little example of what you would get into on pneumatics. Right here we just have a board with some pneumatic cylinders and a button and some directional control valves. There's an indicator light up here. And then on the computer beside it, we have a simulator that will simulate a lot of pneumatic, hydraulic, and electrical circuits. And basically, same with this, you'll be given taught things from the very basic level, because all this stuff has its own language again. Like, so you'll be taught how to read the language. So I could give you a piece of paper and you could build this without even thinking about it a whole lot. So just basically, you'd build it, you'd test it, and it would run. So if I go over to the simulator, this is basically the language that it talks by. So in here, I'm running a similar program, not the same one, but a similar one I've actually built to the right. In this room, we've got some really nice pneumatic systems. There's a robot back there too. And I'm going to come up front here. We have a hydraulic trainer. Those hydraulic trainers now reside out in the main shop that we'll go through. But when you come up to it, you'll see also there's more symbols on that hydraulic trainer, which is again how these systems talk. So all these little symbols tells you what this is and how it works. So we'll take you again right from the very basics and tell you the difference between hydraulics and pneumatics, and kind of teach you how they all work. So in here we have our turbine area. It's been updated since then. This whole room has been had a lot of renovations done to it lately. But you'll take turbines apart, learn all about them and how to rebuild them. If you come over, I'm going to move us over here. There's a little turbine engine. If I come over this way, here is your rotating equipment alignments. So it's very important when equipment rotates and it's attached to each other that everything is done exact. If your rotating motor or pump, like we have next to us here, is out of alignment by a very, very small amount, it will destroy the equipment. So what we have here is some lasers that will help align the equipment to make sure that everything operates. I talked about hoisting and rigging. You can see we have hoisting and rigging on the boards here. Above us, we have all brand new hoists that just came in. I think they're a year and a half old now, but each bay has its own system. So everybody that works in has their own area to work in. These are great big gearboxes. You'll learn all about gearboxes. And if I come back over here, we have a bunch of pumps. That's another aspect you'll get into, is taking pumps apart and learning how they all work. And I know I'm probably taking a lot of time. Just let me know if I'm taking too much, but I'm gonna go.
We'll have to wrap up soon, Ken. Just we have Greg coming up next for HVAC.
Okay. I'm just gonna run through this shop real quick, and then that'll be it. So here is the Robotics Lab. This is where you'll take automation. So we have PLC systems, Allen Bradley PLC systems, and then we've got Fanuc Robots. One thing, I am a licensed Fanuc instructor, or a certified Fanuc instructor. So if you complete the course, you'll also get a Fanuc robotic certificate as well. So Fanuc was a very big robotic manufacturer. So anyways, I tried to fit a lot in there. I won't take any more of that time, but if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to me by email, and I'll respond. I'm just trying to figure out again how to get back here and stop sharing my screen.
It's still me. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ken. And next up, we'll have Greg Taylor from our Heating, Refrigeration, Air Conditioning Technician program. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you, Adam. Folks, I just wanted to kind of mention Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning program here at Lambton College is a fairly new program. We're coming up to the third year of enrollment in Lambton College's Refrigeration and Air Conditioning program. In our gas lab, which is where I'm situated now, students will be tasked with doing a lot of heating and air conditioning factors regarding installation and servicing of heating and air conditioning equipment. The main process of our course here is going to be for students to graduate with their gas technician certifications. Gas Technician 3 and the Gas Technician 2 certifications are what we prepare students to do. We also give students a very high awareness of refrigeration and air conditioning processes as well. Though no certifications will come to students in the refrigeration or the air conditioning sections, we prepare students to start their apprenticeships after they're done school here at Lambton College with different contractors in the heating and air conditioning industry. If people really aren't aware of the heating and air conditioning industry, I'm always amazed at the fact when I go out and talk to people about their job prospects or their careers or what they're really interested in, and especially when you talk about trades. In many cases, when we talk about trades, and Lambton has a great array of trades programs that we offer here, but very few people ever think of the HVAC technician. Name the last time that you were in a building that didn't have some form of heating or air conditioning or refrigeration in those confines of that building. You'd be hard pressed to find a time when that happens. Everyone out there needs HVAC technicians, and we are, if you will, kind of the forgotten trade in a lot of ways. Ken talked about the fact that, in millwrights, they're kind of known as the jack of all trades. HVAC technicians, when it comes to residential and light commercial equipment, are really known as the jack of all trades. Again, kind of like what Ken said, if you're really interested in mechanical applications, taking things apart, repairing, servicing pieces of equipment, our trade is one that lends itself greatly to technicians. One of the great advantages that HVAC technicians have is we perform our skills in multiple different locations every day. My office is a van or a work truck, and I drive from place to place. So unlike a lot of other trades where you're, if you will, you have to go to that location to do your work, in HVAC, we go to multiple locations, a lot of times in the same day, to do our work. One big advantage that gives us is the fact that our time passes fairly quickly. We have a freedom, if you will, to be able to move about the cities that we work in and to be able to go from town to town and do remote work if we wish to do so. So there's a lot of different advantages when we get into that. And as Ken said, so much of what we do are little parts of other trades. We have to be part plumber, we have to be a major part of electrical in doing what we do. If you service HVAC equipment, a huge portion of what you do is going to be electrical. Sheet metal fabrication. We teach sheet metal fabrication to our students here at Lambton. Our HVAC students come out with the skills of being able to erect a plenum, to be able to build supply air transitions, return air elbows, those types of things that are commonly found by installers out there that are skills that employers really like to see. We also give students the skill set of being able to electrically troubleshoot this equipment, as mentioned, and a fair amount of what we do is going to be based toward making sure that these students can install and service this equipment correctly. So these are huge skill sets. And when you're looking at a school, I really implore you to take a better look at the school itself and understand how dedicated that team is to giving you the best possible training that you can get. All of the instructors here at Lambton College have many, many years of experience. All but one of us is a business owner and a current business owner. We didn't work in the trade 25 years ago. We work in it now. So we know exactly what you need to be successful. I myself have been training for close to 20 years now in the industry, and I've been a technician for 30. I've worked for Union Gas, I've worked for a lot of utilities out there, so I can tell you from both big industrial companies, utility, right down to small mom and pop shops that employ our technicians. So not only do you get the skills that you need to do the job well, I also give you a lot of things that employers are going to want from you as well, so that the students are prepared when they get out there to be job ready and ready to go. So this is the place definitely that you want to look at if you're looking at a career in HVAC. And again, might be something that a lot of you haven't even considered before, but everyone needs this and there's a shortage. Take a look on Indeed right now. Take a look at the jobs that are available. It's amazing to me how many of these jobs are available all over Canada right now, and we're crying for tradespeople. Whether you are coming as an international student, definitely a skill set that will bode well. We're seeing a lot more women in trades and definitely welcome that. It's going to be something that we're going to see in the future. Our workforce is going to be changing and evolving, and as it should. So these are skills that we're definitely going to teach you. So I know I'm close to my 5 minutes here, so I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Adam.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. That was fantastic. So next up, we have John Timmers, who I know is keen to go. We have from our renovation construction technician and construction carpentry techniques. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Adam. So, really, if I wanted to make a 5-second speech here, I could just say, this trade gets jobs. Just like Greg had mentioned before, we're crying for tradesmen out there. So just to break it down a little bit of what we offer as a program here. In the renovation construction technician program, we're a 2-year program, college diploma program actually, with a co-op in between. So just a quick course list, guys. Like I said, safety tools and materials. We'll look at different types of safety protocols, working with table saws, joiners, planers, you name it. Construction plans, specs, and codes. Student will look at different blueprints, for example. So here, for example, is an easier blueprint that we start off with our students, just going through, and we look at all aspects of it. So we look at the framing of it. We look at the foundation of it. So this is the foundation plan here you're seeing. We also look at the drywall. How much drywall do we need? So it's a technical program, but it's also a program where we can estimate the amount of materials, how much time things take to build, and so on and so forth. So, you know, we have a surveying and layout course. So where we go with the surveying and layout, guys, is really, we're not the surveyor, okay? The surveyor gives us the points. We're the guys that lay out where the house goes, tells the excavator where to start digging the hole, and the elevations that it needs for it to be on spec and on point. So the next term 2, guys, we get an intro to business, okay? So if you're looking to start your own company, this course really looks at the modern world of business and examines the significance and composition of Canadian businesses. We'll also make a focus on the construction business as well, how we run that business and how we can sustain it. We look at energy efficiencies and sustainable construction, interior and exterior finishing. So this is more of one of our lab classes, ladies and gentlemen. And here we'll learn how to calculate, layout, construct stairs. We'll look at vinyl siding. We'll look at board and bat. We'll look at shingling and roofing, soffit, and different aspects, interior doors, exterior doors. Really, it is a full program where we try and look at the different aspects of construction. So to say in the sense, you don't come out with a career, you know, or this program actually builds careers, and I pluralize that because these are the different facets of construction that you can get into, and it all kind of encapsulates under the carpenter apprenticeship umbrella. So this course, guys, the renovation technician course, will get you through your first year of apprenticeship. Okay, so we worked closely with the Ontario Ministries of Training and Labor, and we've come out with this course so that it can help you get into that carpenter apprenticeship. Okay, so many different types of classes here. We have the term 3, which is a co-op, and then term 4, we look at more of the renovation aspect of it. Okay, so when we are after this course is done, guys, like I said, we build careers here. So if it's framing that you're wanting to get into, if it is you know, windows and doors that you want to get into, flooring, guys, drywall, trim and moldings, we kind of put this all into this course so that not that we are, you know, full bore into one of these courses, but it gives you a general observation of how this will work. So what you can see here is our shop. Okay, so this is our 4,500 square foot shop, and just taking a tour through here, guys, we do pride ourselves in the latest and the greatest tools. So we have the 12-inch joiners, we have the saw stop saws, guys, we have the 24-inch planers here. Okay, so we can do some big work and some great work with the tools that we have here. We always do pride ourselves on having at least tools that are 3 to 5 years or newer in the shop. So upstairs is our mezzanine. Okay, and we do multiple different projects up here. We look at, here's our scroll saws here. All right, we have some workstations up here. We have a small planter box that one of the first year students that we're building here at this point in time. So this is just one of the facilities that we do have. We do have a 1,200 square foot teaching house that we run different types of renovation scenarios out of. And we also have an outdoor space that we do work. We don't sugarcoat it for you, ladies and gentlemen. We do work, some of the work outside, just to give you that aspect of construction is an indoor and an outdoor spot. So we do local projects. Okay, so whenever we can, guys, we like to team up with different partners in the industry, like the Seaway Kiwanis Club, Inn of the Good Shepherd, pretty much any charitable donation or charitable organizations that need stuff built is where it lends us opportunity for us to get out in the real world and actually build structures that are going to last forever. So that students, you know, say, I got a video quickly here that we're going to look at, and it's just us doing one of the builds that we did about 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we worked on the carriage house at Canatera Park. So if you give me 1 second here, I'm just going to bring that up, and hopefully, and it's just going to go from a start to finish here. So let me share this screen again. And of course, modern technology always takes us a little bit of time here. But hopefully you can see this screen now, guys. So I just want to start from the start. So this is what the old building looked like. And when the City House Kiwanis approached us about redoing the building, they kind of gave us a concept drawing. They wanted it to look somewhat similar to this building. So just to take you through this 1 minute quick video, we'll have a look. Okay, and that was the last picture was the concept drawing that they had given us. So I think we did pretty darn well when it came to matching what they were wanting. So that was a start to finish build, guys. Like I said, if we can do the projects out in the community, we can do it for somebody that we can really help out. We will do that, and that's really at the heart of what we want to try and get is doing the real type of work, stuff that's going to last forever. And it gives you that real world experience. So like I said, the program is a 2-year program with the co-op in between. The first year of the renovation technician program is the carpentry techniques, which is an 8-month certificate program. Then basically is a 8-month from September till April. That gives you that first year of basic construction skills. The second year of renovation construction does focus a little bit more on interior renovation and so on and so forth. So hopefully I've kept that under 5 minutes for you, Adam. I know I'm a little bit quick here, but if there's any questions, guys, or if you want to schedule a shop tour, I am in Monday to Friday, whenever we can get somebody in to have a look at it. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. That was great. We really appreciate it, and I think like the value of showing what we can do in our own community is such a great thing with your students to be involved with things like Habitat for Humanity and building of the carriage house. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for students to get outside of the classroom too. Next up, we have from our Electrical Techniques and Power Distribution and Control program, we have a video of Stephen Tiggler. I always say his name like Worcestershire sauce, but he will be next up with the video.
Good day, everyone. My name is Steve Tiggler. I'm the coordinator for the Electrical Techniques and Power Distribution and Control Technician programs. And I'm just taking this opportunity to show you the main electrical shop that's located in the Skilled Trade Center at Atlanta College.
Just having an issue with the audio. It may be working on YouTube, but it is not working on Teams at the moment. So I know my colleague Brady is going to try to get that rectified, but while we're figuring that out, I do also just want to mention that we do have a plumbing techniques program that will be offered for the first time this year in September. So that program, I know we did have a question earlier about is there a co-op? There is not a co-op offered within the program at the moment, but there are so many different opportunities for students upon graduation, because it's a one-year techniques program, so you're learning in the classroom, and then you're going on the other side and hopefully getting a job right after graduation. And just kind of going back to Greg Taylor's previous points and John Timmers as well, the opportunities for tradespeople right now is pretty impressive. We have my father-in-law owns a local plumbing and HVAC company, and he is dying for employees. Like, he really needs as many people as he can get, and he has a hard time finding them. So when you come out of these programs and you have certifications and you have previous training, it can only benefit you in the long run. Okay, so I think I'm just waiting to hear from Brady. He said, Brady, if you want to let me know if we're going to try to roll it again, and if not, that is okay, and we can definitely talk about the electrical techniques program. We will also hopefully, we'll share the link to the video as well as likely Nikki's. I believe Nikki is the program coordinator of our welding program, so please feel free to go and check out those links, and we can share Nikki's is good. So we're going to share Nikki Noble's presentation now, as long as Brady is ready to do so. All right, I'm going to be quiet.
Hello, I'm Nikki Noble, and this is the welding shop here at Lambton College. At Lambton College, we prepare students with the knowledge and capabilities to help them perform their best in their future career in the trades. Come with me to do some welding. Welcome to Lambton College's Welding Booth. Here in the Welding Booth, we provide students with the tools that they need in order to perform their best in the booth. So, included in each booth are a grinder, tip cleaners, chipping hammer, grinder wrench, striker, a wire brush, C-clamps, and all of this in order to perform their best when doing their CWB test in the end of the program. Here at Lambton College, each welding booth is equipped with their own machine. So depending on the course that the student is enrolled in, this machine is capable of welding with stick, TIG, whether it's mild steel, stainless, or aluminum, has high frequency feature, or MIG, whether it's hardwire, flux core, or metal core. What's special about our program? Not only do we teach the students how to weld, but we teach them with the knowledge and experience that they need to know about the ins and outs of the machines, how to set up, tear down, so that when they leave for the workplace, they can be more of a competent worker so that employer can rely on them. Here at Lambton College, every welding booth is also equipped with their own oxy-fuel cutting and welding torch. Here's the cutting. At Lambton College. How about flux core arc welding? We teach that here at Lambton College. Here at the college, we also teach shielded metal arc welding, also known as stick. Pops right off. We teach several positions and procedures according to TSSA and CWB standards. Safety is our #1 thing, so we want to make sure that we teach students and also encourage them to be as safe as possible so that they can make it home every day. Plasma cutter, we got it. Shear, got that too. Horizontal bandsaw, yep. Iron worker, you got it. Gouger, hydraulic press, can't do a bend test without it. We even have outside areas for students to be exposed to the other elements.
We also teach you how to interpret and draw blueprint drawings.
Don't know what else you need in order to be in the weld shop?
Well, Lambton College has that taken care of. Just go to the bookstore campus shop and order your welding kit. In it is going to have everything that you need in order to be in the weld shop, including a welding jacket, helmet, beanie, gloves, a voucher for boots, and much more.
With remote learning, you can stay at the luxury of your own home in your comfy clothes while still doing online theory. Especially if you have little ones at home. Hi. Hello, I'm Nikki Noble, and this is the Welding.
To Nikki, who's not here, but we will let her do. We will tell her thank you afterwards. One other program that I know could not attend today, and we'll jump right to you, Shaughnessy, I promise. But I just want to also make sure to mention our Instrumentation Control program. So if anybody is interested in the program, it is a 3-year advanced diploma. There are co-op opportunities within it as well. We train students to program robotic arms and different kinds of processes within the program. But if you do want to connect with the program coordinator, I will put his contact information in the chat. He unfortunately was teaching at the moment, so not able to make it. But he, Kevin Ryan is his name. I keep just referring to him as he. But I will share his contact information in the chat. And I will now switch it over to Shauna. Shauna, I'll just pull up your PowerPoint here and we'll get rolling.
Perfect. Thank you, Adam.
Problem, sorry. Yes. Put it up in front of my screen so I couldn't share at the same time. One day I'll have this figured out. One day. All right, and go.
Perfect, awesome. So as Adam said, my name is Shauna Korn. I'm an Accessibility and Learning Skills Advisor here at Lambton. Next slide, please. So the Accessibility Center works towards making the college curriculum more accessible to everyone at Lambton, and we do that by working with students to create accommodation plans. So the accommodation plan, or confidential academic accommodation plan, also known as a CAP, will accommodate students in the classroom, on their assignments, tests, quizzes, and during their placement and co-ops. Next slide. So the Accessibility Center offers a variety of other services such as learning strategies. So learning strategies help students build skills in the areas such as time management, organization, test taking, and note-taking skills. We also offer personalized training on assistive technology. One of our experts can show you how to utilize the technology built into your device or teach and train you on other software options. Our staff can also help you acquire and utilize alternate format textbooks, as well as assistive equipment. We also have an accessibility counselor who provides students accessibility counseling and can also assist with bursaries. So if you had an IEP in high school, or you're facing a medical, mobility, mental health, physical, cognitive, learning condition, or disability that negatively impacts your ability to fully participate at Lambton, then we can work together to develop an accommodation plan that will help you succeed. If you're interested in registering with our service and you've accepted your offer at Lambton College, then we're officially inviting you to our Transitions event. The first event takes place during the week of May 30th. During this week, you can sign up for an individualized virtual appointment with a member of our team. During your appointment, we'll go over the registration process, documentation requirements, and we'll give an overview of our service. This event is recommended for both future Lions as well as their support person. The second Transitions event will take place on August 25th. This is an on-campus event that will consist of workshops focusing on learning strategies, assistive technology, and will also go on a campus tour. So registration is limited, but the first event is open. So you can register for the event by going to lambtoncollege.ca/transitions or by contacting our office by telephone or email. Awesome. Thank you, Adam.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shauna. So that is the end of our presentation today. I am going to share the video that was created by Stephen. Just give me 1 second. I'm just grabbing it from Brady. And I'll just throw it in the chat. So if you do want to watch it, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, adam@lambtoncollege.ca at any point, and I will do my very best to answer anything that you may have. Or if you would like to connect with a faculty member, just let me know what, or program coordinator, let me know what program you're interested in, and I will connect you with them. So thanks again for joining us today. Have a great rest of your evening, and take care, everybody. And I'll stick around just in case there are any other questions, but everybody can leave if you would like to. Go get some dinner.